Hey there, Cosplay Cafe friends. How you doing tonight? Tonight, we're going to discuss humor and cosplay, and we're here to serve up a hot steaming cup of cosplay for you. So, before I do that, I'm going to let our credits roll. All right, so my Phoenix sister, my other half, is here. Hello, Crayley.
Hello. You're all so beautiful. It's so great to see you this lovely Friday evening.
How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing okay. Really okay. I did one real photo shoot and two very, very mini photo shoots today. So,
Ooh. You all are going to have to keep an eye on our Instagram and Patreon for those if you're Patreon subscribers. And if you're not, why not?
Right. Definitely.
Shameless plug. You thought you're going to have to wait till the end for that, but nope.
Nope. Bringing it up now. Never waste an opportunity to plug, our cosplay work.
Uh-huh. And we also have the lovely, the fantastically talented Andrea. How you doing tonight, Andrea?
Other than extremely exhausted, I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's been the theme for the last few episodes, and I'm not a fan of this.
As I said, adulting is hard. Adulting is hard. You just have to deal with it.
0 out of 10.
But here we are. So I decided to dress as a 13-year-old today instead.
I love it. And to introduce our guest, he was technically a guest before during the Multiverse fundraiser during our very special episode that we did for that. And we're bringing him back again. He's my very dear friend, Fred. We volunteered together. He's so talented. He's so funny, which, of course, perfect for this episode. He's just an all-around great guy. And let's bring him in, aka Space Pope Costuming. Hello, Mr. Fred. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I can't breathe in this thing. Oh. Hi.
We needed that laugh, sir. Thank you so much.
That was magnificent.
Best entrance yet.
Yeah. All I need is a Mr. Coffee. Somebody actually made one. I saw that. Like some company actually took an old coffee dispenser and turned it into the Mr. Coffee from Spaceballs. Beyond my skill set, but really cool. But thanks for having me tonight. This is awesome. I can't wait to see all the funny cosplays that people have. So can't wait to see those.
Fun costumes with some of them with fun stories to go with rather typical costumes, but some good little stories to go with them. So we ask people to share stories too. So if you're watching and you have a story you didn't share, put it in the comments.
Well,
we will definitely.
A special viewer taking time off of his regularly scheduled program, Carl Witzman, who does a green room with some of his friends where they are just humorous all the time. Maybe a little humorous for our channel. And they wanted to watch our very special episode.
Yes.
Comedy.
I kind of thought posting the Peg Bundy selfie would, or not selfie, but Peg Bundy picture would reel Carl in. So, Carl, I'm so glad that you put your head in. We love you.
All right.
Would do it.
And Garrett can't stay with us the whole episode. But he does say hi and bye. So hi, Derek. Bye, Derek.
It's going to be a quieter chat without Derek around tonight.
Right.
Yeah. I actually have to hop off of here for like one quick second, but I'll be back. Nobody worry about me, okay?
I mean, you started
She's
making
just going invisible woman for a minute.
Jeez.
Derek says his life is a funny cosplay. That's his story. Okay, bye for good this time.
We feel that.
So, Fred, we have asked you this before, but just in case there's anyone watching who hasn't seen your previous episode, how did you get into cosplay?
Oh boy. Well, I think everyone, when they're a kid for Halloween and things like that, and you dress up and things like that. And Halloween was always kind of my favorite holiday. And I started going and my daughter was interested in Star Wars even when she was younger, and we would go to these library events with and they would have the 501st Legion folks there. And I started to, just kind of chat with some of them. And at first you don't know, what you don't know. So you don't think you know anything, So I was, kind of afraid of, like, how do you make these costumes? And they're like, oh, no, we'll if you're serious about it, we'll help you through it. And so I, but they said, take your time, do your research, and so forth. And I did, and I got to know some of the folks in the local 501st Legion. And I just started building, and the first two costumes I did were a Jedi, and I should say my sister-in-law, who's a tailor, and again, she's absolutely wonderful. Can't say enough about her because I can't sew to save my life.
And, were you talking about me? All I heard was "can't say enough wonderful about her."
Yes.
Well, yeah, you too, Carly. But
are you Fred's sister-in-law?
Yeah, my sister-in-law. You're my second cousin's college roommate, which makes us absolutely nothing. Anyway, the two costumes I started with were she kind of, I chose the fabrics and she made the Jedi robes. But at the same time, I was trying to put together a 501st Clone Trooper because it was my nephew at the time Clone Wars was out. And it was his favorite thing. Uh-huh. And if I know now what I know then, it's like supposedly one of the most difficult costumes to make. So it took me like 9 months of endless sanding. Yeah. I kind of understand now why Anakin doesn't like sand, because I don't like sanding either, man. I mean, you literally just sand your life away with these armored costumes. But I made the costumes, and and just really had so much fun doing it, and especially trooping, and especially with making putting smiles on people's faces, especially kids, and we do hospital visits and things like that. And just, having the ability to get some of these kids with, really serious chronic illnesses, their minds off of that for a bit, and was just, priceless. And from there, I just kind of expanded into other, I'm interested in all kinds of science fiction and so forth. So again, it just kind of exploded after that with, God, I've lost count. I don't know. I'm like 20, 25 costumes now. And, the wife has costumes. The kid has costumes. We got costumes coming out of our ears here, Look here, it's like Crazy Fred's House of Costumes,
Once you're in, you're never out.
Yeah. It's like crack, it's, it's like.
It's about as expensive.
Yeah, probably more. It's an addictive substance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's the Hotel California, you can check out, but you can never leave.
Yeah.
That's what cosplay is.
It's like The Godfather. They thought you left, and then they play you back.
I just watched The Godfather for the very first time this week, and I knew that there were tons and tons of references and other things to The Godfather. Yeah. I just didn't realize how close together they were, like the whole movie.
Yeah.
Dom DeLuise's whole spiel in Men in Tights, if you watch The Godfather before that, is 10 times. You'll be like on the floor, like, your spleen's about to explode. Because, I mean, literally, he does like a perfect impression. And, you're right.
It's
Mel Brooks.
And it's Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah. And, of course, Pizza the Hut,
You Gotta love some Mel Brooks.
Yeah, there was a fascinating article too on how they did the Pizza the Hut costume. Look it up on the internet. I think it just came out last month. I can't remember what site, but how they managed to do that. And they actually used actual pizza toppings. So,
Ew, that sounds
doing it before Lady Gaga was wearing meat, I guess.
yeah.
Also gross.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
And
Not
apparently the
clothing.
cheese, they had to use pancake batter or something like that. So it was like extremely hot too. It was like double layers, and the stuntman had to do it because the actor refused. It's a great story.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, poor stunt people. They definitely get the short end of the stick.
So homework for those of you watching or listening at home.
Yeah,
And
I thought about making a
report
Pizza
to
Hut
us.
costume, and now I'm like, no.
You're not going to make it accurate to the film. Accuracy is out the window on that one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cheesy costume anyway.
Oh,
Should we have like
he here? He's so good at puns too. You guys could have a battle.
we really needed that, like the rim shot, like on cue. So for all the jokes tonight,
Yeah.
Well, my daughter's a percussionist. I could get her to.
just come on in and play the drums for
Yeah.
us.
Hello, Samantha.
Hey.
So if you're only getting the audio, Samantha Brinkley said, "Hey, friends," who we're saying hi to.
So, Fred, let's talk about humor in cosplay. So, why do you think it's important to have humorous cosplays, or just like talk? You suggested the theme, which I love the theme, but just talk about it a little bit.
Well, cosplay already brings joy, and I think when you can add some humor to it, it even it ups it. Especially some characters are, one of them, and some of them you don't expect, and I owe a great debt of gratitude towards Robot Chicken and Lego Star Wars, because one of my favorite costumes is Emperor Palpatine. And in Star Wars, he's just not funny. He's just a mean, nasty guy that fries people with force lightning. But in Lego Star Wars, he's sort of this bumbling father figure kind of guy who's kind of
Yes.
it's actually kind of fun. In Robot Chicken, again, the Godfather, he kind of they kind of take a page off of that, where he's like they kind of portray him as this somewhat bumbling, but more like a Dr.
Mafia
Evil.
Don.
yeah, kind of, so, and that's great, because you can kind of, switch it up where, you can be serious, but then you can also be funny, which sometimes, especially with heavy characters like that, can really help, lighten the mood. Because, when you're a character like Palpatine or Vader or even my Lord of the Rings Nazgul Ringwraith, some people get kind of freaked out or scared, and I'm not just talking little kids. I've had like little kids, run up and give Vader or Palpatine a big hug, and then I have 35-year-old men run screaming the other direction, So again, I think it can kind of take some of the edge off that. When I cosplay my Nazgul, and I think I have a picture of it.
Yes, here we go.
I bring the sign along because I made these signs because I'm thinking to myself, what do you do as a Nazgul besides walk around? You got no facial expression. You just look ominous and frightening. So I made up the signs here, and I particularly like the one on the right, the Lost Ring. And so I go around. This was taken at Bristol, and we'll be at the local Ren Fair next weekend, weather permitting. But I'll go around like pointing and asking people if they've found this ring, and usually gets a rather positive response. So.
And you need to talk about what you did the last event we did together when you forgot your blaster. You were a stormtrooper and you forgot your blaster.
Yes.
Brilliant.
As I always said, in the pantheon of comedy, there is a special place for the fruit known as banana. Minions kind of just has elevated that to a next level. So it was a walking event, so they had water and bananas there. So I just simply grabbed the banana and pretended like it was my blaster, and the kids just thought that was the funniest thing they ever saw.
That's a very robot chicken thing of you to do as a stormtrooper.
Instead of whipping the blaster out of the holster, whipping the banana out of the holster, and then looking at the banana like, oh, wait a minute, where's my blaster? But never underestimate props, especially not just in cosplay in general, obviously. Yeah, this just like in the movies, this thing just slides down on its own, just uncontrollably, or it just goes fling. For humor in cosplay, nothing beats a sign or some kind of weird prop. It just seals the deal. So. And I think you kind of have to have
people who that made their day.
Yeah, and you kind of have to my personality. I got this part of my brain that just like sends out. I can't even help it. Sometimes the puns come out and I can't even control it. It's just just the way I am, and I think some other people are just built. We're just comedians at heart, so. Give us anything to any kind of prop, and we'll make it funny.
You got to be able to laugh at yourself. Some people take this way too seriously. Like, I love my serious costumes, but you got to have fun while you're doing it. Otherwise, you're just.
Or what's the point?
Yeah, you're like play is in the word cosplay. We're supposed to have fun doing it.
I really
enjoy some of the mashups too. The mashups I love. I love when people do mashups.
I wasn't into them for a while, and then our friend Robin got me into the Star Wars Disney Princess mashup, and now I'm like, I need to do more. So yeah, it took a little while for me to get into those, but now I love them.
Well, I'll say I had a hard time coming up with a costume for this episode, and then I was like, especially because budget, I'm like, I don't want to spend a lot on a costume that I'm going to wear one time. And then I didn't
have time to make something new.
No. And then I came up with Peg, and I just immediately laughed to myself, and everyone that I've told that I'm going to be Peg Bundy, has laughed. I'm like, that is the right reaction. But also I was disappointed in myself. I'm like, why do I not have anything funny in my closet?
Yeah. No, I loved it because I almost, if I would have had a solid purple wig, I was going to do Leela from Futurama, but when she got the eye surgery and had the two eyes. But my only purple wig I had it's purple and black, and it wouldn't have been pulled into a ponytail very well. I was like, that would have been even funnier since you're dressed as the person that voices Leela. So,
that would have been hilarious.
I love Futurama. That show is so stupid and amazing.
My stupid amazing show is Rick and Morty. It's just, I love it so much.
Also, because I knew Fred was going to be on, and he does Bill Cipher. I almost did Mabel from Gravity Falls because one of my friends is trying to get me and my youngest brother to be Mabel and Dipper. So I was like, had a few ideas. We settled on Tina from Bob's Burgers.
David said, that's a great Futurama episode because one eye never moves.
I love it.
That is fantastic.
I love Futurama so much. That show is so stupid.
And I don't know what it is, that writing team, but when they did Disenchantment, they also have a plot with a character who needs an eye, who gets their eye replaced with a crystal ball that only tells the truth.
Yes. Disenchantment. I want to cosplay Tia Beanie so bad because she's
have all but one piece of the costume.
I love her. She's so horrible and she's so great. And that show is out of control. But I need a Lucy. I've got to make a Lucy plushie to go with Tia Beanie.
Yeah, I want to do Dagmar also. Her costumes are like so ridiculous.
They're so trampy, but so great. I love it. That show should not be. It's another one of those. It shouldn't be as funny as it actually is, but I love it. It's great.
Right. Futurama is one of Sam's favorite shows of all time. Also,
Excellent.
It's stupid and funny and witty and smart, and then it'll rip your heart out every now and then.
Yes.
Oh, we don't talk about Jurassic Park. We don't
Yeah, no, I was going to say, I almost said that. I'll shut up.
Yeah, no, it's like
My
that
favorite is
episode's so lighthearted until you get to the end.
Yeah. The Cola Wars is my favorite one. Then one of my favorite lines of all time is Soylent Green Cola. How's it taste? Depends on the person. That I just literally fell over.
There's some references that people just, especially like younger generations, don't get now because it came out. It's it's so good. How many times that poor show got canceled?
I know.
They started making jokes about getting canceled in the show all the time. Like,
it was self-aware. It was so self-aware. Oh, that's why I love seeing people that cosplay like Bender and everything, because it's just he's a great character. He's a horrible, horrible character, but I love him so much. Yes. Oh, it's so good. We could do a whole show about Futurama, and I would talk for days on end.
It would be so hard to keep it PG for the channel, though. Like, I'm considering a vendor quote that I could say out loud on the show, and like nothing is coming to mind.
Yeah,
we're just gonna have to go make our own channel with
blackjack. And
you can't even finish the reference.
I mean, we could do that on Phoenix Sisters. We could have blackjack and
the other word. It's another one. If you know, you know.
I mean, considering all the language on drunk comics on Phoenix Sisters, I think the blackjack would fit in perfectly.
Yes,
and the other thing as well.
I'm kind of excited. My favorites is animated is coming back. They're redoing Beavis and Butthead are coming back on August 4th on Paramount.
That is a throwback. I used to watch that when I was old.
But when they would put it on, like, I remember when it came out on VHS and they didn't have the music videos in there. I'm like, y'all, that's like the best part is watching them make fun of music videos. Like the storylines were funny, but literally them sitting there just bashing on music videos was the best.
I feel like Mystery Science Theater without the movies, I mean.
Right? Yes, it's still funny, but you need that next level.
Nobody watched it for the plot.
Yeah.
No.
For the record, that is not what my real laugh sounds like. If this is your first time tuning in, I am so sorry.
You might want to start a little further back in the catalog.
So, Crayley, do you want to talk about your costume for tonight?
Oh, yeah. I guess mine is probably a little less obvious because you can only see me from like here up. But so I am Punk Aurora from Sleeping Beauty. So I've got blue paint splatter all over one leg and pink paint splatter all over the other leg. And so, first of all, I think the idea of Aurora being a punk is hilarious anyway, because it's like, what's the worst thing she ever does in the movie? Like, go for a longer walk in the woods than she was supposed to? Like,
she talked to a stranger.
Oh, right.
She even danced with a stranger. That's pretty scandalous for medieval.
For like the 14th century. She was a real punk.
So, like, it wasn't, So, but my favorite scene in the whole movie is when two of the fairy godmothers are fighting over what color to make her dress. Make it pink, make it blue, make it pink, make it blue. And like, they shoot the colors out of their wands, and it's just a big blue, pink, blobby mess. That's and so to make these pants, the only way I could think of to get it like splattery and blobby was I just went ahead and put them on, and a shirt that I didn't care about, and I specified to my husband, who was about to go splatter me with paint, that I needed to put on a shirt and like shoes and stuff that I did not care about because paint was definitely going to go all over the place. So he goes out there and he flings up like 3 quick paintbrushes just full of pink paint. And I look down and I'm like, hey, David. And he's like, what? should I stop? And I was like, well, are those your everyday combat boots?
Oh,
Oh, no.
not cheap.
They were also his favorite pants. He already had pink all over them. He was like, well, there's no point stopping now.
He could do a male punk Aurora later on. It's fine.
He totally could. It's just, this is like a recurring thing in our house where it's like, he's like, okay, I'm going to go mow the lawn now. And I'm like, no, you're going to go change your pants now. And he's like, right, going back upstairs. Like, he always forgets to change out of his nice pants or his nice shoes. So this time I just got a funny costume story out of it. And I mean, that's in a special danger when your wife is a cosplayer, is you just get funnier messes.
Yep. Or you get wig heads with long ass wigs left in bathroom shower stalls to scare the bejesus out of you.
I've done that to my brothers when we all lived in the same house cosplaying. It was, yeah. There were a lot of screams and a lot of texts of, why did you leave that in the bathroom?
In my defense, I warned him and he forgot.
I also scared my brother with a long white gown with a white kimono over it on my dress form in my dark bedroom. And I was at work and he was messaging me he's like, I need something. And it was in my bedroom. And all I get back is a WTF. I nearly died going in your room. He's like, I thought there was a ghost standing in there. I'm pretty sure I shaved a couple years off Scoot's life with that one.
I still love it when you warn people about something though, and they just like don't think it's gonna be that bad. My dad didn't think he would really like sushi, but he bought me some as a treat when I was home for a weekend from the school that I was going to at the time, and I left some of it in the fridge and forgot to take it back to school with me because he got me like way more than I can eat at once because he was looking at it not knowing how filling it is because he'd never eaten it before, and he got me like several rolls. And because they just look like little coin-shaped snack bites to him, you know. And so he's thinking, well, I paid for it. I don't really want to waste it. Hey, why do they only give you this like teeny tiny little dime-sized dollop of wasabi anyway?
Nope.
Oh, no.
And so not knowing that any of this has happened, not even remembering that I left my sushi in my dad's fridge, I get a text message when I'm back at school, like that night, that's just, I'm going to censor it a little bit, but just, dang, wasabi is hot. And I was like, Dad, what did you do? Yeah, no, he scooped over half the dollop onto one piece of sushi.
Oh, poor guy. Whoops.
And of course, it immediately went to the roof of his mouth. Like, you can't spit it out after that.
No.
So just, that's the second time I've ever made my father cry, I think.
Once again, you got a story out of it.
If you guys want to hear about the first time, I don't want to take up too much time, but if somebody remembers later in the episode and reminds me in the comments or something, I'll tell you about the first time I made my dad cry.
Well, hold on.
No.
This is momentous. This is my husband admitting it wasn't my fault. He did forget.
Ooh.
Oh.
No, my husband is actually very good at he's very good at manning up and admitting when things are he's a good one. Anyways, you should tell us the first story.
Right, well, Fred, do you want to hear it? Because I don't want to talk over again.
By all means, just that first story though reminds me of the scene in Cars 2 when Mater have some more of that green ice cream. I remember that scene.
Mater is like the only part of that franchise I enjoy.
Yeah, it got a little
kind of metal because he sleeps in a car graveyard essentially.
Yeah, that makes it funnier for me, but my family has a morbid sense of humor.
It makes
We also have a
funnier
story from my husband here again. We have a wig head on a tripod for detangling wigs. It's true. It's always put in the creepiest place, like in a window or in the door at the top of the stairs. So it looks like some creepy child in the dark. We had somebody stop by to let our dog out and walk her outside if we're going to be home too late. And they will. They'll just look up at the window and be like, I had to walk back in and be like, is somebody in here? No, it's a wig.
They're like, no, that house is haunted. Don't go in there.
They're just
they
like,
got ghosts.
They're just like, your dog had to come home with me tonight because I was scared to go back inside.
All right, yes. So tell us about the first time you made your dad cry.
So when I was 13 or 14, I asked my dad to teach me self-defense, because high school girl, why not? And
Well, you're a woman, you need to be able to fight.
So like sometimes he would be like, okay, we're going to spar and this is the lesson plan for the day, blah, blah, blah. Other days he would he worked swing shift and it was impossible to remember, not just swing shift, but like it changed like from 2 weeks to 2 weeks. So it's like impossible to remember my dad's schedule. I didn't even try. Sometimes I would go 2 weeks without seeing them. So he'd like to wait for a day that I hadn't seen him anyway in 2 weeks. And then step out from behind the door suddenly when I got off the school bus and just like jump me and then see how I would react and then be like, okay, now I'm going to critique your response. Okay. That's not how I ended up making him cry. So we did a structured sparring lesson where he taught me how to reverse this certain type of hold. I think it was a type of headlock, maybe, I don't know. And then he was like, okay, let's pour some milk and have some Thin Mints. Good lesson. And so like I turn around, I open the fridge door, he puts me back in the hold, which I should have been expecting because like we just did this, okay? Instead of reversing the hold the way he just taught me, I turned around in his arms and headbutted him right in his nose so hard that we're still pretty sure it broke his nose. So he curls up in like a ball over on the floor. And I was just like, are you okay? And he was like, no. And I was like, you still want the milk and cookies? And he was like, no, take them to your room. So I was just eating milk and cookies in my room. Like, I don't know what Dad's face is going to look like tomorrow.
He's like, I taught you well, grasshopper. Go away now.
I was thinking the same thing, Kelly. Kung Fu. It's time to leave.
Oh, goodness. That's great.
And on that note, we should do our little strutting our stuff, our catwalk. Sorry, I'm tired. Words are hard.
Words are hard when we're not tired, much less when we're exhausted.
This is why
As
you're
a writer, words are hard.
I read, I don't write. There's a difference.
Oh no, I said it.
Yeah, I know. You're the writer, but you're allowed to have trouble with words. It's okay.
Okay, so I will go first since I usually do because it's whatever. Gotta get my cigarette. I have a prop. All right. I'm too sexy for my cosplay. I'm too sexy for my cosplay. I'm showing off my shoes.
Because Peg always had on the best shoes.
Mm-hmm. Those are actually my Black Canary, bombshell Black Canary shoes.
Well,
Yeah, those are ones those are good for sitting, not walking.
Those shoes are not made for walking. So who wants to go next?
I can do.
Yeah.
So we're doing the simpler version. She went horseback riding because I didn't have time to get a blue skirt. Jeans, comfy.
So sexy for your cosplay.
No,
So sexy
she's a
for your
child.
cosplay.
I don't. Yeah, I'm but
Okay.
13-year-old. But considering the things that Tina writes in her fan fiction, she's a little. That's why I also can't do some of Tina's dances because we might get a higher rating on the show. She does some very, very bad, not rhythmic twerking at one point.
Yes, I've seen
The
the
gifts
gifts.
of that out of context, like a
It's
gift.
bad.
It's so funny though. Like
She's terrible. She's so uncoordinated, and it's beautiful because I feel that deep in my soul. Yeah. Next.
All right, go ahead,
we'll
Curly.
save the best for last. We'll let Fred go last.
Yes.
Fred's amazing.
For my cosplay, I got the dragon pin because
Yes.
my Dream Theater T-shirt and my paint splattered pants because I'm too sexy for my cosplay.
All right, Fred, are you able to get up? I know
We'll find
that.
out.
Cassie-
Let's see here. This is only the second or third time I tried this on, so here we go. Let's get the
Fred's
helmet on.
too sexy for his helmet. He's too sexy for his
I got my
helmet.
tie.
So sexy, he can't breathe in that.
I know, not breathing.
For
It's so
his
hot.
Cosplay. Too sexy for his cosplay. No,
I'll see
wait.
if I can sit down again without.
Dang, we really need to make up more lyrics.
We really
No.
do.
No, the fact that it's terrible is the best part. We have no actual lyrics, no rhythm to it.
Oh yeah, I can't
Hi,
dance to save my life.
Hi, Robin.
Yeah, no, I tell everybody I dance like a white girl.
Yeah.
It's fine.
No, I can't. I was such a horrible dancer back in high school. The girls called me the Tominator.
Robin demands to see twerking.
Well, Robin, maybe on a different show. It's a little.
Maybe when we do Back of the Cereal Box After Dark. Although it's not surprising that Thomas agrees with Robin and says, let's see the twerking.
No.
Maybe that'll be on our Cosplay Cafe OnlyFans.
Colin dressed as a 13-year-old, guys. Let's just remember that part. Granted, I'm a little older than 13. Just a little older.
You can make an OnlyFans.
Last night during our multiverse fundraiser meeting, I got really excited about spreadsheets. And so I was like, talk spreadsheets to me. No. And then we decided we were going to have a spreadsheets OnlyFans. And it was going to be actual Excel spreadsheets, not like spreading.
Yeah, on the sheets.
People would probably be disappointed.
Oh,
I don't know.
know.
If you're journey like me, you're going to be like, yeah, show me
I'm
your
getting a tea delivery.
show me
I'm
your
pretty
spreadsheets and your little shortcuts that I don't know about.
I'm sure there's somebody that would pay money for that.
Me?
There's the internet. It's the internet. There is everything out there. I've seen things.
All the things you can do with them?
Oh
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, look, there's some things I've seen that I'm pretty sure I'm still too young to see. Pretty certain. And I'm not talking about while in this costume. I'm talking about in my real age.
Same days.
Like, one of my favorite anime movies of all time is Ninja Scroll, but I think I'm still too young to see it. Because it's a lot.
The thing I was too young to see, in anime-wise, was supposed to be more kid-friendly, but instead they made it so much worse. You can tell where I'm going with this, Andrea. So, if you don't watch Sailor Moon, the 90s dub that they did, there were two characters where one of them is gender fluid, but usually identifies as a woman.
But looks more masked.
Sailor Scouts, also a woman. So, most of the time they look like a lesbian couple. The show didn't really skirt around. It wasn't graphic. It was still appropriate for kids. It's just they were both women, okay?
They just held hands, maybe looked a little lovingly at each other.
Right. Nothing too scandalous. But the fact that they were a same-sex couple in the 90s for Western audiences, they're like, oh no, how are we going to fix this in the dub? Robin knows where this was going. The cousins. So
They made them cousins.
There were cousins in the dub. So
Wouldn't that
they
make it
still look
worse?
like lesbians.
Yes, it does.
There were the sparkles in their eyes.
And just and everybody drooling over them. Just no, as somebody growing up in the South with all the Arkansas jokes, since Arkansas is our neighbor, I'm just like, they're Arkansas cousins, all right?
Oh my god.
Growing up in Pittsburgh, it was West Virginia. Yeah, we had the West Virginia jokes,
One of my favorite Valentine's Day cards is just Sailor Uranus, and it says, "You're my favorite cousin."
Or I'm in cousins with you.
Cousins with you. Kelly was put on there. You okay?
I'm okay. I'm just like, no, this is so bad.
It's
I'm gonna watch
terrible.
Sailor Moon because I need just because it's so referenced so much. I've never actually watched it, so I just need to sit my butt down and watch Sailor Moon and just.
The
watch it.
90s dub was so up and down. Like, sometimes it had some great voice acting, and other times you're like, "What? I'm just gonna turn this off and watch subtitles," because it was so bad. But the newer version follows the manga so much closer, so there's not as many cheesy monsters. I'm like, they're kind of almost on par with the monsters that Rita makes in the Power Rangers.
Oh, jeez.
They're also way fewer. As much as they tried to make it less problematic as a cartoon for children, the 90s were such a weird time. I loved growing up in the 90s, but like there's
It was a
so
weird time.
much watching it as an adult. There is so
Yeah.
much like fat shaming in the 90s one
Mhm.
that I started reading the manga this year, and like that's not in like an occasional joke about like how Luna's getting heavier as she's riding around on Sailor
Yeah.
Moon or something.
Or telling Usagi she eats way too much cake all the time or something, but it's not as prevalent in the manga as it was in the 90s show.
In the 90s show, like they're just constantly making comments about Sailor Moon's body, and in the very first season there's an episode about
She's a middle schooler at this point.
getting obsessed with going to the gym to be beautiful and attract husbands. Like
No.
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
So warning if you start with the 90s one, like they've
Robin
moved
loves
past
the cheesy
that in that
monsters, though.
franchise. Robin
I
says
mean,
she
the
loves
cheesy
the cheesy
monsters,
monsters. I was talking over Kelly. The cheesy monsters were so great. It's just like, I'm a giant pair of scissors with lipstick.
Yep. They made like weird inanimate objects into monsters, and it was so stupid, but so great.
The luchador one with the angel wings and the tall wig or whatever.
I mean, it's definitely a nostalgia thing.
Look up a YouTube compilation of cheesiest Sailor Moon monsters. Like, you won't regret it.
Fred might find his next cosplay.
There you go.
You can get into the Sailor Moon cosplay with us.
It shows you how things change, though, because I'm more of a child of the 80s, and the trauma for us, and of course we just celebrated the remembrance of going to Transformers the movie, see all your favorite Transformers, and what do they do in the first 20 minutes? They kill off Optimus Prime.
My brother still cries about that. We saw that in the theater, and I think that was that was literally probably the first time I saw my older brother cry.
It's like,
I'm certain that was the first time I saw him cry because Optimus Prime died, and my brother was just like,
they like that movie just like took a kid's emotions and just like like one of those like old paddle ball things. It just because 1 minute Optimus Prime is croaking, and then 20 minutes after that, they're playing Weird Al's "Dare to Be Stupid." Like
which is a great song.
Crazy song. It's like
that was the 80s. That's the 80s in a nutshell.
Yeah.
It explains so much about those of us who grew up in the 80s.
I was on the cusp. I was born in 83, so I grew up in a chunk of the 80s and then all of the 90s, so I'm kind of that weird line between the two.
81, baby.
Yeah.
71. You kids, get off my lawn. So I was kind of like, late 70s and then early 80s kind of thing. So I got
you're like me, but you're the 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
I was the 80s, 90s. Those were some weird times.
Jokes off of Optimus Prime dying, though, like, Optimus Prime didn't die for this when people make weird modifications to their cars, or we have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior, your Optimus Prime.
Yes.
We were talking about with The Godfather earlier. It was a very serious movie. It was not a comedy,
No.
but
no, at all.
when something becomes a certain level of iconic, you got to make jokes about it. So,
Oh yeah.
it was
I mean, look, most of our favorite movies actually are pretty serious movies, and then you have Star Wars, then you have Spaceballs. So
memes and the parodies that come from it.
Yes, the memes are something
that was
else.
one of the genius things about let's talk about Mystery Science Theater 3000, because most of the movies that they do were meant to be serious movies, and
they were so bad B movies.
Yes. And like again, the more serious they were, the more riff you would get on them. So
Oh yeah, definitely. The more serious the movie was supposed to be, the funnier that episode of Mystery Science Theater was.
That is my favorite Optimus Prime meme.
yes,
About Prime Day and how Optimus Prime died.
Nobody
for us.
remembers
That's why
Optimus
we have
Prime.
the commercialization of Prime Day. Everybody's forgotten it's all about Optimus Prime dying for us. Yeah.
I'm sure my oldest brother would agree.
Because everybody thought it was going to be like the TV show, it's going to be kind of, just, a little upbeat,
kid-friendly, lighthearted, a little bit of fighting.
Yeah, but it's like, Hamlet meets Macbeth, and
gonna take out the leader of the Autobots in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
He rolled
Who
out.
knew we would cry over a truck dying? Over here just crying because this big semi truck died on us.
Hey, it was really emotional for me, even though I wasn't alive when it first came out, because Optimus Prime was my boyfriend for a while. None of my celebrity crushes as a child were humans, okay? My first celebrity crush was Chuck E. Cheese. I went to kindergarten telling everyone with a straight face that Chuck E. Cheese was my boyfriend, and they were like, okay, cool, that's cute. And then by the time I was in 3rd or 4th grade, it was Goliath from Gargoyles, and I was still young.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Crayley, we get it. He's more humanoid than a giant.
You're like, okay, we're getting there.
Okay, we're getting there, right? And then in 8th grade, I was just I would tell you with a straight face. I was like, yeah, no, my boyfriend is Optimus Prime. Better not try to steal Optimus Prime from me. Yeah. And at that point, my family was like, should we be concerned?
You're like, it's fine, it's fine.
Friends that I had met in real life, and they were like, you're in 8th grade, and we're not crazy about this, but at least he's human.
You didn't bring home a trash can and say, this is my boyfriend.
No, I waited until college to do that. If you know, you know.
And on that note, we've got 15 minutes left, so let's go through the pictures.
Yes, let's.
Curly, are you okay with flipping through the pictures?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay, let's go through Fred's pictures.
I thought they were the pictures of Crayley with Optimus Prime. No, okay, never.
those were her prom pictures,
But
guys.
how have we not found an Optimus Prime cosplayer for Curly to pose with?
We need
Y'all.
This is my Palpatine at Star Wars Celebration, and this Jedi was just awesome, and obviously a disco Jedi, so I had to do the staying alive thing here, which was appropriate considering the latest Star Wars movie where Palpatine was sort of staying alive. So I never found out who this cosplayer was because I wanted to share the picture with her and so forth, but I thought it was fantastic.
So if you all recognize this cosplayer,
yes, please let us know.
Yeah, because that was fantastic.
That is.
And here, again, this is a thing we do at Bristol. This is actually not my costume. A friend of mine has all the Monty Python costumes. And I'm a Brave Sir Robin here. And I was trying to take a selfie of myself, I actually dropped my camera as it took. So it's great because it's just like in the movie when he's running away from the rabbit. So
Brave Sir Robin.
But that is some of the most fun I think I've had. I mean, it's just awesome when we go to the Ren Fair and we're all doing have the coconuts and we just kind of go throughout there and it's just a blast. This is me and my daughter Delenn as Ray, and this was at the C2E2 before COVID, so I think it was 2 years ago. And again, you got to have your prop, and here we are taking Grandpa to the con.
Listening into the audio, Ray has a sign in her hand that says "Taking Grandpa to the con."
Are you not able to hear me really well?
Oh no! I'm like,
no, we can hear you. It's just we have audio. So.
Right.
And I like to reiterate what's going on visually sometimes.
Gotcha. We've already seen this one there. Yeah, that's the Ring Wraiths one. Okay, this is my Q from Star Trek: The Next Generation, and my friend Chris, who's the stormtrooper there, who was trying to blaster me, and sort of the old Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd, stick your finger in the gun kind of shtick. One of my favorite cosplays, Q. A friend of mine told me that I kind of looked a little like John Delancey, and I'm just like, okay, got to do it. So, love that costume.
And I recognize this one.
Ah, yes.
That's
Kelly's favorite. Yes, Spoon.
I love the tick.
Probably the cheapest cosplay ever made. It's pretty much a blue Zentai suit, and then I just do some blue craft foam and a beret with some magnets, and made the antenna, and the spoon was just free hanging out in the kitchen drawer. So there you go.
So if you need free spoons, go to Fred's Kitchen. Apparently you get free spoons.
He's just got free spoons in the kitchen.
Split yourself into Fred's house. Yeah.
Just go drink it. No. Let's see. This is the wife and I. We had a friend of ours take some pictures, just family pictures in the backyard, and we thought it would be kind of funny just to put on our 501st shirts. And I don't know how I ended up with a pitchfork. Don't ask.
American Gothic?
Yeah, sitting in the garage. So here's Imperial Gothic here. So there you go.
I love it.
Okay, so there's one more of Fred that's in this. This one I had to put in because my friend did. Yeah, there you go. We'll do Fred first, then I'll get to those.
Right. This was at back when they had Wizard World in Madison, and again, Robot Chicken when Palpatine needs a loan. So here he is at the ATM. And what I really love, and I didn't notice this about the picture till after. If you notice on the bottom, the company is Empire ATM Group. I didn't even notice that. Yeah,
that is great.
Who's going to give me a loan? Yeah.
I love it.
Who's the weirdo on the furthest left in this photo, Andrea?
I don't know, some weirdo that y'all know. No, I had to put this in there because my friend made the Cthulhu mask, and then we were doing Marvel characters for this Halloween party, and so he said he was Cthulhu Coulson, and I had to go with it. It was like, because we had Ant-Man and Killmonger, and I was Carol Danvers. He's like, yeah, I'm Cthulhu Coulson. I'm like, I can see them doing that, so yeah.
And again,
my friend Mark's
the audio. The weirdo is Andrea. I'm just joking with her. I will never call you a weirdo unless
I am a weirdo.
If you send us a submission, I'm
a weirdo. We all know it. It's fine. Totally cool.
Exactly. I have permission to call Andrea a weirdo.
My oldest brother. You have to see it close up. He showed up to this Halloween party as Freddie Mercury.
That's awesome.
But the thing is I see him walk into this party, and I see him from behind. My sister-in-law just comes in every Halloween. She goes, just wait till you see what he did. Because we just joked that I have the other 364 days of the year. We give Bear Halloween to be the best cosplayer in the family. And I see him, and I see the tank top and the slicked back hair and the armband. I'm like, this MFer is Freddie Mercury. He turns around. He grew a beard to shave the mustache and had the false teeth. And he just kept smiling the whole night. I'm like, you win again. Like, I'm done with you, man. I'm done with you. Every year he wins Halloween. I don't know how. And he was Freddie Mercury that year, and then he was John Wick a few years later. I'm like, how do you look like both of these guys? Like, how? It's not fair.
Obviously, he is the champion.
I guess. Oh, man, he used to sing that to us every time he beat us in Mario Kart. That was his favorite thing, singing that I am the champion. We used to try to beat him up. We love each other.
That's what siblings do. My sister and I haven't been in a good fist fight in years, and last year we just started looking at each other. Nothing had even happened. I was just like, I don't know why. I kind of want to get in a fight. And she was like,
I need to square up on you right now.
She was like, we're both consenting adults. And I was like, yeah, but we have kids in the house. And if a neighbor misunderstands what's going on, it's just going to make everything way more difficult. She was like, oh, you're right.
Yeah, true.
Doing everything, which is a joke from her. She loves her kids. They're her
kids. Yeah.
But the next one is me. So this is me. I'm Emma Frost as a cowgirl, which if you know me, you might be like, oh, Krayley, that's totally like a mashup type thing you would invent. I did not. This is from, I think it's issue 541 of Uncanny X-Men. It's part of the Fear Itself storyline. I got a screenshot that Kelly sent me from a group she's in. There was Emma Frost draped over a throne with her hand up on her cowboy hat like this.
Yep.
As a cowgirl. And then Madam Mayor and Scott are just standing around on like a white background. The only thing in this room is Emma on her throne dressed as a cowgirl. And
because why not?
Why does she get the throne? And Emma says, it's my psychic projection. I get the throne. And so that is such the like level of sass that I do every time. The first time I ever cosplayed Emma Frost, I didn't tell Kelly who I was cosplaying. I just told her to wear Phoenix and meet me here at this time and place for a photo shoot. And then I had our photographer drive me up to the park we were going to shoot in. And then he opened my door for me and I stepped out and said, the queen has arrived. So like, I was like, I have to cosplay this now. So it's in like 4 panels of this one issue.
Literally.
I wore it at Fan Expo, formerly Wizard World Chicago, last weekend actually. And then I told somebody, people kept looking at me and being like, I really like your I really like your costume, but who are you? And there were a few people who you could tell they at least know who Emma Frost is, because I'd be like, oh, well, I'm and before I could finish saying I'm Emma Frost as a cowgirl, they'd be like, I knew it! Because, like...
They're like, I know those pages.
Right.
And as soon as I saw that panel, I was like, Crayley needs to cosplay this. Here you go.
But she didn't tell me that when she sent it to me. She's just like, Crayley, you're going to love this. And I was like, I'm going to do this. And she was like,
I knew it. I knew it.
You didn't have to say it because you knew it. Okay, this is my baby brother. He had this joke with the Akatsuki and Naruto. He's like, man, they're kind of like door-to-door businessmen, like trying to sell stuff all the time. So he made a business suit and carried a briefcase with this costume at some point. We made this, and it was just so stupid. And everybody's like, oh, cool, an Akatsuki business jacket or suit jacket. He's like, nobody's getting my joke. And I'm like, it's okay. I get it, bro. My brother, he doesn't take himself seriously. Brad does not know how to take himself seriously. And I love it because there's another one of him in here that's definitely not him being serious. So yeah, that's his. This one, he calls this the ultimate cosplay. He took pieces from my Juvia from Fairy Tale, 2 pieces from Garter Belt, from our friend Dwayne's Garter Belt cosplay from Panty and Stocking, the trainer gold jacket from my nephew's costume, his girlfriend's kakuna, the apron and corset from our sister-in-law's Alice Madness Returns costume, and the thing he's holding like Mjolnir was actually a box Dwayne had fixed to put a mask on that he did because he does Q from Street Fighter, and Brad was saying it was Mjolnir. So since he had all of it on, this is the ultimate cosplay. This is my brother being my brother, and I love it, and I had to put this in here because that's like, I can't remember if in the corner if that's my sister-in-law or his girlfriend at the time, just looking at him like, you're an idiot, but we're like, we love you for it. You know, he's okay.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yes, one of our like people that submits all the time, Honey Blossom Cosplay, this is her brother. And she's like, I had to send this because he did the meme. And I was like, this is so great.
This is incredible. Like,
I love it. He's got the butterfly. Is this a pigeon? I love it. So good. I love that one.
That is fantastic.
This is
okay. So Honey Blossom has a couple of stories for this. The Iron Man one said they had sat down at the theater. Her dad was next to her, and this little girl like screamed next into her dad's ear, I love your outfit! And I'm just like, oh, her poor dad is probably deaf now from it. And the other one was from a high school talent show. She made the guitar out of stuff she had at home, but put a recorder behind it that played one of the Japanese pop star songs, and she learned to sing Japanese to do the talent show. And I thought that was really funny. That's pretty cool.
Cute.
So cute. She does some precious closet cosplay. I love it.
Aww.
What do we got next? Angel doing her White Rabbit. She does the White Rabbit when I'm in my Queen of Hearts. And recently, my favorite thing is we were walking into one of the volunteer events we did, and every time I walked in behind her, she's like, the Queen has arrived.
Yeah.
I was like, thank you. But it's just so funny because it was so dramatic, and we're like, you're supposed to have a trumpet. She's like, I'm getting a trumpet. So, oh no. Oh no. Now she wants the trumpet to go with it, which is kind of great.
What have you done, Andrea?
Actually, it was Garrett's suggestion.
That trumpet.
It was Garrett's suggestion. This is another Angel. Angel did the sandworm from Dune.
Oh, wow.
And said people loved it. They thought it was hilarious. It's great. That headpiece, first off, is impressive. I love it.
I need one of those for my still suit, my Dune still suit.
So yeah, I love that. That was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Well, and if she wants to cosplay any other characters from Dune, she can have that one that have the headpiece like clamp onto the bottom of the other costume.
She's gonna hear that suggestion and definitely take it to heart and do it. I knowing Angel, she's definitely gonna do it. A tsundere shark. I don't know the meme, but this was from Cheshire S, and I'm like, I love it just because it's got the big anime shoujo eyes and everything on it. I love it. It's so cute.
This tsundere shark cosplayer is holding a sign that says Dyersburg Geekery and Cosplay. Find us on Facebook. So
yes, that's actually one of the local groups down this way. So follow them. They're awesome. They do cosplay bowling a lot, which is great. I forgot to throw this in here until the last second.
On purpose?
No, I forgot about it until you were talking about making your costume. Scissor Wizard Cosplay, Lori, has been on our show, and I love that she made the dress that the fairies made very badly for Aurora, and she did it while dressed as Merryweather. She just refers to it as the hot mess dress, and I love this.
Oh,
I was like, that's why y'all probably saw me at one point down, like not looking at the camera. I was down looking at my phone because I was like, I have to find this and put this in here really quick.
That is a beautiful mess.
Oh, it's a beautiful mess. And she made it so well. Like, how did you make that mess look that good? Oh, wait, that's how Lori is. She's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll
So, yeah.
And I have a little something from Sarah Tolliday, our guest a few weeks ago.
Oh, yes.
So she said, I have to read it. So she loves a video game called Halo, which, if you don't know, is a science fiction first-person shooter.
You don't know it, you've been under a rock.
Yeah. And so in it, there are the enemies called grunts, which look like tiny gnomes with pink hats and gas masks on. And in the game, when you shoot them in the head, confetti comes out instead of blood, and you hear a chorus of children screaming, "Yay!" And she wants to one day dress up like one and walk around the convention and just meet up with people who can, like, shoot her and have that gay moment. So if anyone wants to collaborate with Sarah on that, also, get in touch with us and we can get you in touch with Sarah.
Yes.
We'll make it happen.
Basically, we're begging for interaction here, y'all. I mean, I guess that's what happens when Derek doesn't hang around. We're just lonely without
I'm like David watching. He could comment more, but he doesn't love me enough.
Oh, no. Derek is our top commenter, y'all. That's all it is. He's. I think Derek's our number one fan. Everybody else, y'all need to get on that. If you want to dethrone Derek.
Also, Beard and Nikki aren't here this week, and they're pretty active in the chat too.
Yeah.
True.
And Fred is usually active in the chat, and Fred is a guest, which we appreciate.
He's active in this in a different way in the chat.
David replied, "Hey, I commented at least once." That's, again, if you're new to the show, David is my husband. I tease him lovingly.
And
he does really love her, we promise, guys. He loves her to death.
He brought me my tea earlier,
Yeah. He's doing the Lord's work with that one.
He was jammed.
I was jammed.
Lone Star.
Yeah.
So, Fred, it has come, since we are at the end of the show, it is time to ask you the question that we ask everyone. I'm building it up to be more serious than it is. What advice do you have for other cosplayers, especially newer cosplayers?
I think especially when you're starting out, I think you do feel like you have to be serious because I think you're trying to maybe reputation's too strong of a word, but and obviously again, when you're new, it's hard to kind of relax and stuff. But I think, to make it fun, I think we said that earlier. If it's not fun, why bother? And I think adding humor to cosplay, it makes it better. It's in a lot of ways. So don't be afraid to be funny and a little crazy and a little ridiculous, because again, it's as someone said, it's cosplay, and play is supposed to be fun, and maybe the CO part is comedy, so maybe it's comedy play, except the S doesn't work there. Never mind.
I'm pretty sure we could come up with something that the S could stand for, but then it would increase the show's rating.
I wasn't thinking of that.
We'll come up with something else for the S later.
Yeah.
Schwartz.
When we
The
all
Schwartz.
can think.
The Schwartz.
Yep. And before we fully tune out, I want to say thank you to our sponsor, whycosplay.com. If you use the link in the description, if you're on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're viewing this, if you can't see the link, let us know. We'll send it to you. Are you? Oh, you're okay. I thought you were
It's
like
down there.
No,
lower
I'm pointing at the
volume.
link.
So it
See,
looks like my
you're
whole
going-
life.
He's like Crayley.
Yeah,
We don't talk about that.
This
No, no.
is my inside voice. Anyway,
Guys,
it's a 20% discount. That is substantial. It adds up. So use our link. It gives you a code when you click on the link. And then, it supports us too, so that we can keep making this, cool, funny, cute, whatever content, different theme.
Whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
It's a train wreck some days, but hey, we're all happy to be here. Just happy to be part of the train wreck.
And we're happy that you all have decided to join us on this train wreck.
Indeed.
We
We'll
love
just,
Every single viewer, commenter, submitter, we love you guys.
We do.
Even if you watch live, if you watch later, we love all of you.
and if you don't know how I'm always like poking in, like in case you're listening on audio, you can find us in the iTunes podcast section, the Spotify podcast section, and a few other places. We'll post it to our Facebook page.
Also-
Just a link someday of where to get all of the audio feeds. Maybe I'll remember to do it tonight.
Okay,
Speaking of
we gotta
that,
have this.
We made top 10 in cosplay podcast for iTunes. Thank you all for getting us
Yes.
there. We love you all. Like,
Thank you. We
Okay,
love you.
You got y'all gotta love this comment from Robin. It's hard to comment a lot when my feline cosplay buddy is laying on my arm. I'm guessing that's Anders that is squishing her arm. Her own little flirkin.
Cat gravity is a thing.
uh-huh.
Yeah, I had to kick all four of mine. Oh, actually 3 of the 4 of mine. Whiskey's been a good boy sleeping on the floor. The other 3 were trying to tear the living room up right before we started. I was like, bye guys. Yeah, they like to take over the show. It's not the Kitty Cat Cosplay show. Cat Cosplay has their own page. Go follow them.
I mean, I would watch a kitty cat cosplay show. Hands down.
I'm telling you, I'm trying to get us.
One
We
of
need
these
to get
episodes.
Cat Cosplay on. I don't know how well the cats would react to it.
I got the costume for my dog, but
You should totally send in pictures.
yeah, little
Please.
Jedi.
we need a pet cosplay
one.
episode.
Yeah, do a pet
Yes.
cosplay one.
We really do.
There you go.
Well, you know what I wanna see and watch before we go is the trailer for Kelly's first book, Scorcher, sequel to come soon. Any final words, Fred, Andrea, Kelly?
Keep firing.
Well, we should talk about where to find everyone before we
Yes.
You know,
trailer.
Oh,
We should do that.
Where are we
Right,
finding you, Fred?
I'm very excited about Kelly's new book coming out, and not just because I edited it, but I did.
You did.
All right. So
Where are we finding Fred first?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Where are we finding you at? Where can we find you?
Oh, well, Space Pope Costuming. Wait, that's great. It's opposite land. There you go. Right
There you
there
go.
on Facebook. I'm trying to do Instagram. I suck at Instagram, so just follow me on Facebook and forget about
Oh
the
yeah, I need to come. I
Yes.
was supposed to help you at the last event. It didn't
Yes.
happen because I had a kidney stone. I just need to come visit you.
And I should say this. Thank you so much for going. I didn't realize you were having that issue when you went to that.
Yeah, that was Oedipus, the kidney stone.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
again, thank you for coming. But again, please don't feel like you have to if you're not. Wow,
It
Above
was
and beyond.
a low pain day, so don't worry about it.
still that's above and beyond. So thank
you
you.
got a tattoo with a kidney stone. I think your event was fine.
I did.
It looks exactly like this one.
Ah, okay.
Yep. Yeah, I think I win a bad A award for getting
Yeah.
a tattoo while
What award.
having a kidney stone.
You're a
Also, I
vamp.
didn't have any pain that day either with the kidney stone or the tattoos. So that was weird. Crayley and I were both like, something's wrong. I think my body just gave up at that point. and was like, no, I'm not going to send any more pain signals because clearly your dumb butt isn't doing anything about it anyways. I'm like, thank you. It's a good time to stop sending pain signals.
Well, if you want to find our stuff everywhere, we have a link tree, linktree.com/cosplay cafe podcast.
Yes.
Specifically for our merch, like I had the I'm Too Sexy for My Cosplay mug today. That's on Redbubble, redbubble.com/people/Phoenix Sisters/shop.
And that link is also on the aforementioned.
It is.
Entry.
So
That,
it's there.
that
It's
tree takes you to everything. All
everything.
our individuals, our together stuff, everything.
And hey, if you want to support our network overall, we do not do enough shout outs for like the Cereal Box Network, other hosts, and our owner, Johnny. He's amazing. Go to buymeacoffee.com/cerealboxpod. You can just make a one-time donation. There are recurring setups. So if you liked this, go there and donate. If you didn't like it, as Johnny likes to say, donate generously so that we can get better.
Yes. It's a loophole to get you to donate either way.
Right? Okay, are you guys ready for this trailer?
Let's do it.
I'm so ready for this trailer. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, Fred.
Iris took me when I was a kid. I thought they were teaching me to control my powers. But now I know that they've been training me to be their weapon. The time has come to take my life back.